Dimension go for a very strong lane dominating draft already. Lycan, Night Stalker, high movement speed heroes, Witch Doctor, aggressive support, Maledict, easy kills, and of course, with some strong laning with sustain from Witch Doctor and Lycan, allowing Night Stalker to rotate once, which is at level 4, and of course, snowballing from that with a Lycan as well. Would not be surprised if you picked another one of these really dominating heroes. For example, the Death Prophet would have been probably a really good pick, but of course, a great ban by Team Singularity. The Queen of Pain is still an option, especially for Undershock. And you still have the SF as something that Devil Damage can always pick up. As for Team Singularity, they go for themselves a push lineup, but without the strong lanes, they don't have the snowball that they were looking for as much. And now against the Spirit Breaker, even a harder lanes, Double Dimension actually get a push for the Night Stalker in the off-lane position with the Spirit Breaker as the support. And Singularity deciding to run a Wind Ranger as their mid laner.
Seems like an interesting choice for Team Singularity. Haven't seen Wind Ranger for quite a while, but it's still a very strong hero, so we believe it's going to be in the mid lane. A lot of aggression in there, especially with the Nature's Prophet plus Tuska, who is going to run around the map. Question is how Double Dimension will defend their mid. They got a Spirit Breaker, who most likely will chill somewhere around mid lane and help them. The question is, what is the mid for them, and what are they want to ban out for Team Singularity? And it's going to be a Necro. Interesting ban.
That is an interesting ban, certainly for Team Singularity. I mean, they could have run him, I guess, in either the carry or the offlane position, especially depending, because they do have such versatile heroes in Team Singularity, but probably Necro more as a counter to Lycan or Spirit Breaker. Perhaps a weird ban. Team Singularity still has a lot of potential here in terms of what they want to pick up. For carries, you can always go for something really safe, like, as example, the Juggernaut, particularly good against the Lycan, and also offers that split pushing potential. Also, not a hero that can be easily ganked by either Spirit Breaker or Night Stalker or a Witch Doctor, and especially since Night Stalker won't be able to gank the safe lane whatsoever, he's going to be running against a safe lane of Tusk Jakiro. Juggernaut would particularly look good for Exotic Deer here for Singularity. I actually think that's the better pick. You can go for other stuff if you want to Singularity, but that's still probably your stellar pick right now. It goes really synergistically well with your lineup. It destroys what Double Dimension wants to run, unless you have something in mind specifically that has a bit more push. Yeah, that's the Chaos Knight.
Radiant team pick.
That's actually an interesting pick, but I guess for the carry with such an aggressive line, fill it up with Chaos Knight with Reality Rift and Chaos Bolt. It will be a hard time for whomever will stand in the offlane for Double Dimension, and if it is a Night Stalker, probably he will have to pick up Iron Talon and chill somewhere in the jungle. And I'm surprised there is also an Earthshaker.
Made her shaker for Undershock. Seems like the case. When you pick up the Chaos, then you open yourself to that possibility, and that was one of the many reasons why you. I mean, made her shaker does work nowadays, and it just. That's why you don't want to open with the Chaos. Like, Wind Ranger is also very vulnerable to the Earthshaker, so is Nature's Prophet. You already have far too many heroes, especially against an Enchant Totem version of the Earthshaker. It could be really, really dangerous. And Double Dimension can start winning these lanes, especially this mid lane, and secure with the Spirit Breaker and the Witch Doctor picks. It can work really nicely for them. However, Singularity tends to have better execution in Double Dimension, so we'll see coming this next game who can really bring their A game.
Well, to be honest, sometimes I don't trust that much in the teams where too many melee heroes have maybe punished quite a lot, and their 4 strength heroes from side of a Double Dimension. That's a lot of HP and tankiness from their side, and I'm not sure even if Team Singularity got enough damage to burst them down.
Oh, well, we'll see. We'll see as the game progresses. It does depend entirely on as well if Singularity will be able to get the upper hand in those lanes, out harassing them, and of course then start using their abilities a bit more often to. Their abilities more often to get kills early on with the Chaos, and of course Jakiro and Tusk combination. But if they don't get to those early levels, especially up to level 3, so Chaos can be a bit more useful. The Spirit Breaker can have a lot of impact. However, you do have very weak lanes with the Night Stalker in the offlane position. I'm not entirely sure of that pick. And the game for Double Dimension, it's a very clear 4 Protect 1 to some degree, with Earthshaker having a bit of an impact. But the 4 Protect 1, really not that powerful of a lineup anymore, especially if Singularity realizes they can just go and try to attack the the Lycan, and even put a lot of pressure with the aggressive trialing with Exotic Deer, K-Sword, and Analyzation. It's not like Lycan can really withstand all this burst damage, especially with the Ice Shard stopping him completely, really effective against melee heroes.
Yeah, There's going to be a lot of rotations also with Nature's Prophet in the mid lane, so probably it will be an easy time for Nisha in the mid. And I'm not sure if Undershock will be able to survive that, because even though Fisher is a pretty good both offensive and defensive mechanism, it will be hard to survive against the shards plus power shot, shackle shot, and sprouts from Nature's Prophet.
And yeah, it's actually, a Sprout can be a pretty particular powerful skill as well against any sort of these melee heroes, like the Lycan, Spirit Breaker not so much, but Lycan, Night Stalker, and definitely to some degree the Earthshaker. It's an easy way to stop them early on. They're going to have to carry some sort of tangles or whatnot to stop them, so yeah, that's why you want to put pressure, take away their tangles and any sort of healing items, and that's why we see someone like Flo, for example, going for 3 mangles for the extra healing, so the tangles can be kept for those sprouts later on in the game, which can be a very useful.
That's actually interesting, so we'll chill in the off lane. So he already decided he will try to stand there properly. Maybe he will start out with LeBron and try to deal with Witch Doctor and Lycan against Nature's Prophet on their own, because I expected Night Stalker to actually pick up Iron Talon and give up on his off lane, basically, because it's really hard to stand as a melee hero, even though you're as a Night Stalker against the tri lane from side of a Singularity.
Yeah, it is very true, actually. Maybe it's because he's expecting there's going to be an off-lane against a safe lane hero, in this case Nature's Prophet, and that's what they're expecting. Just assuming that they're going to go for an aggressive tri-lane already, because the aggressive tri-lane is very good for the guys at SNG, especially the combination of the possible Ice Path, Jakiro, even Dual Breath with the Ice Shards is really easy to land that combo, and that's could be the reason. Otherwise, he's going to have a really tough time, and yeah, we're already seeing it. Exotic Deer coming at, or seems like he's going down to the bottom lane with at least a dual lane for the very start of the game, while Jakiro puts up some wards and will let the Nature's Prophet lane against Night Stalker. Should be able to win anyway, as Nature's Prophet destroys Night Stalker in lane due to him being a melee hero and insane amount of Nature's Prophet range.
Oh, that's true. That's an interesting choice from side of Singularity. And yeah, I guess Patas will be completely fine on his lane, but I guess he will start out with Jakiro also. It's interesting that he didn't rotate to the bottom yet, and I'm not sure if Tusk and Chaos Knight will be enough to rush to the lane.
Well, we'll see. It definitely, like you said, is maybe a weak lane in the early game. You are fighting against a pretty strong laning phase of Double Dimension, especially a level 1 Witch Doctor can be really effective against a dual lane, not particularly a tri-lane, as much as Paralyzing Cast does lose effectivity in the early game, but a triple bounce between 2 heroes can be lethal for K-Sword and Chaos Knight unless they have great positioning, and so we'll see if Double Dimension can run this against Singularity and be successful now with the help of Jakiro. Maybe they want to invade even.
They may try to go for LeBron. Started out with a greater bash, but oh, they actually man fighting. Here comes the dual breath, shards, good casket. Most likely Queso will lose his life. He's trying to run away, yet they keep on chasing him. Oh, the orb of venom didn't stop him, and it feels like Lycan will die here. He's trying to cut his way through with the tangles. Oh, wrong tree, and Lycan goes down. Also, Witch Doctor gets a stun, 1 second, but that's enough to die here. Question is, will they be able to take Spirit Breaker too? And the tension is in the air. Here comes the pause. There is no mana from side of a Singularity, so now most likely they will try to back off. Witch Doctor will be up in 4, and I'm not sure if they will burst down Spirit Breaker in this time.
Probably not. Way too much armor. Yeah, they're just leave it be. I mean, well, Singularity gets the best part out of this. They do lose the bounty room, and in the end, I believe, well, they end up getting enough bounty rooms anyway. They get 2 bounty rooms regardless, so end up losing the bounty room per se in the bottom lane, but you still get the first blood, and of course, an extra kill on top of that. You're gonna heal enough because you guys all brought clarities. At least one person brought clarities for everyone, and Exotic doesn't really care if that gets cancelled. And you, of course, got the kill on the Lycan, which is so important early on, forcing him to mess up his block and getting a better creep equilibrium. Mainly because that's just going to be beneficial to the offlane as it is nowadays, right? So because the Lycan himself cannot block his creeps. So for now, big advantage to the Polish team already, and they might even be going for more as the Ice Shards hits next level. Do they have enough damage? The Howl is already in, or could be in effect, but yeah, Singularity doesn't want to dive this tower too much. Paralyzing Cast is a very punishing skill under that tower.
Yep. Exotic Deer, he is playing without manga now, so he... Here comes the second clarity from him. from Kaysar. While in the mid lane, actually, Undershock is doing not that bad. He's having more or less hits than Nisha, and oh, or a Wind Ranger. She's dropping fairly low on the HP, yet there are a couple of subs now. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, Witch Doctor is losing his life to Chaos Knight once again, yet there are no mana to stay in anymore for Singularity. Here comes the Reality Rift. Dual Breath, not enough mana on poor Jakiro. Maybe they will try to punish that. Yet there is no charge on Spirit Breaker, and Exotic Deer will simply back off. But now when they don't have mana, it doesn't feel like they can be that aggressive anymore.
Yeah, Exotic Deer without mana, like you said, not the strongest of heroes. You really do rely a lot on the Chaos Bolt early on. With a paralyzing cast, they might even stop him. Really lucky bounces, and the Howl to add extra damage. Exotic Deer will survive thanks to that magic stick at the last second. But like we said, no mana makes it that you can't really even punish these initiations. As a result, you got to get a bit more advantage of the other lanes. And here's an issue with what Singularity is doing. They do have a really nice aggressive tri-lane. We've talked about it a couple of times. But you're not really getting much effect out of it if you don't win the rest of your lanes by forcing the supports to stay in the bottom lane. You want to get better engagement in the mid lane. And now you just force the Brandota to go mid. And Nisha might be able to get the skill. Will do so with just a simple power shot. And this is what you should be looking for. And these engagements, forcing bad rotations only whenever possible, as you dictate the tempo of the game, and of course, whenever they do rotate, punish them for doing so.
Yep, and what's actually also important, Exotic Deer have to back off to the base. He's losing a lot of time while Lycan is actually getting farm on the lane. Even though he died once, now he's already level 3. I guess Knight is still level 2, and you spends a lot of time on the base, got a Clarity and a man, now the Mango in his backpack, and he realized how important sustain for him is, and they actually may go for Lycan. Here comes the 2-second stun. Kaysar ready with the shots, try to body block. Most likely they will be able to kill Lycan here. There's no way he will escape. And actually take a look at this. Witch Doctor was waiting till the very last moment to rotate to his teammate. Body block in the way. Chaos Knight can't use his bolt, and next level survives this. Well, that's surprising. Howl is a very great spell, granted him additional HP, and he managed to back off just in time.
And as you see in these engagements, we are seeing Singularity again taking a bit of the more aggressive approach, trying to keep everyone in check per se. And we see the biggest advantage out of this would be probably Patos in this off lane. And oh, actually, in the middle lane. Okay, so it's nighttime. Went for the rune. Terrible usage of vision there. Nightstar can really punish that. A fantastic fissure by, of course, Undershock. And if Kisor doesn't die, it's because Flo doesn't want to kill him. Yeah, that's a dead Tusk.
Yeah, not much he could do there. 3-man rotation plus a Witch Doctor was already on the high ground with the casket. And what's interesting, he gone for the Water Restoration instead of a Maledict. You really want to keep a sustain from your side because it's a very aggressive lane. Actually, they're charging Nisha in the mid lane, but I'm not sure if they will be able to do much. He's already defended by his ally.
Next level actually stunned out and destroyed finally by SNG, and the paralyzing cast came way too late, as they do kill the Lycan. Much more important, again, whenever they rotate, the aggressive dual lane punishes it, and they're always one step ahead. As the idea of running these lanes, right? You do have to dictate a lot of the tempo of the game, and of course get an advantage, and they are doing so exactly right now. With Jakiro only rotating the mid lane. Oh, what a beautiful shackle shot on Undershock. That was really, really nice. Can they kill him off though? Power shot, a lot of damage, but that infused raindrop really useful at stopping it. And of course the power shot, a good skill, but it does take quite a while to be used. As long as the Earthshaker isn't played in a too aggressive fashion, the likelihood of killing him is pretty low.
And Earthshaker is actually shrining up. There's a charge on Nietzsche in the mid lane. I'm not sure if they will be able to kill him. He's still got his wind run. Oh, that's an unfortunate vision. Won't lead to anything. Nietzsche's Prophet was ready there with the TP, yet LeBron, oh, he got trapped in the river, but most likely he'll be able to run away. He got nothing actually. Shackle shot being missed. Undershock is still level 5. Imagine their Echo Slam there, but it is not needed to kill Nature's Prophet. Nisha have to commit Wind Run to run away. Undershock actually fight until the very end. He's baiting them, it feels like. No, there's an Echo Slam. Double damage so close to him, but he can't reach to it. Oh, he's going in. No mana for the Echo Slam. Nisha is going down to the bash. Flo joining to the party, killing Tusk, and Lisash trapped by the Fissure and Creeps in the corner of the river. Ends up dying. -3 from side of a Singularity, and double dimension happily Going to use the Shrine, they will be full HP for mana again, and they will go to their lanes.
Slight mistakes there, but also a good fissure, very, very good fissure by Undershock dividing the enemy team, the supports, and the core. That's exactly what you want to do with a fissure most of the time in the early game. Actually, bottom lane, they're gonna kill next level. It should be an easy kill with the ice shards, yep. So, in these kind of engages, it's very important for the Wind Ranger to take advantage of the Wind Run, and if you use it defensively, not to really engage too far in. He got kind of excited because the Wind Run has a pretty strong slow, and it stopped Undershock for a while, but you're still very vulnerable to his damage, especially with Enchant Totem, without any way to evade it. And in that place, he actually got just cancelled because of it. Now Nisha, careful. Oh, Echo Slam, destroyed! Yeah, that's gonna be a dead Wind Ranger.
Well, question is, will they be able to burst down Undershock, who gone too far? He's trying to run away, using bottle. Most likely he will be completely fine, plus Hull. Jakiro, meanwhile, tries to fight against Spirit Breaker and Witch Doctor. Here comes the charge. Bash, well, oh, here comes the Exotic Deer, 3-second stun, but do you really want to fight against all of them? Beautiful Fisher, blocking out the way to the safety. He's trying to fight until the very end, but there are 3 men from side of Double Dimension. Maybe he will try to suicide to the crypts. No, he's trying to escape here. Doesn't have a Phantasm. Here comes the Bash, TP from Nature's Prophet. Oh, I don't believe that they're actually letting him go. Kaser, keep on chasing. Snowball on Witch Doctor, there is no mana on him. Unfortunately, Casket are not possible, and Nisha finishes off for Witch Doctor with a power shot.
Well, that ends up being another good combination by the guys at Singularity. Yeah, right now they are losing in terms of net worth, but you do see the Polish team taking a bit of an advantage with the Wind Ranger, especially looking at net worth. She's actually leading the charts, even if only by a bit. It's very important for Nisha to stay up there in terms of experience, especially when you don't want to go for Focus Fire. The Power Shot build is or early on, right? So the Power Shot build really relies on you staying above them in terms of HP and in terms of stats. And of course, you did win your lane against the Earthshaker, as expected to some degree at the very least. Now you can start able to gank, go for some sort of mobility item early on. That would be the ideal thing for a Wind Ranger, maybe perhaps a 4-step, so you can turn it into a Hurricane Pike, or go for something along the lines of a straight-up Ags. It really does depend on how aggressive Anisha wants to take this. And now you can actually start getting some space for Exotic Deer, who is, by the way, being charged in this top lane.
Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, next level in the wolf form, tries to run away from Singularity. Here comes the Casket. Lisage dropping fairly low. Maledict on him. Most likely he will die here. Kaser actually is in a difficult position. Yes, here comes the Shackle Shot. Witch Doctor is not allowed to live anymore. They keep on chasing next level. They're using Focus Fire. He's trapped with the shards. And that's a -2. Great rotation from Singularity. Yet Kaser being charged. There will be no TPs here and no kills for Double Dimension. Lycan already died 4 times, and probably that's not the best start for Lycan. You don't want to die that much, and this hero is really hard to come back with, in my opinion.
A very, very good choice there by the Wind Ranger to level up Focus Fire before that team fight. No, she just got a level 8, saved the point, and eventually got the level before she engaged them. And then she did the extra damage against the Lycan. With the Ice Shards, they're able to really stop this Lycan without the need of stuns, especially in the early game. We still relies a bit on the shapeshift. And no, Eliasish will go down. The Earthshaker has enough damage. Now the charge, finding Exotic Deer. But yeah, they don't want to complete that. The Phantasm can always evade that, and you can always get the counter kill. Somehow you have to stop Undershock from when he gets his Blink Dagger. He's going to become a big, big threat, this Earthshaker. And you got to start getting some kills to at least delay that Blink Dagger for a bit before your Wind Ranger and get her next item.
It is going to be Maelstrom. A little bit of safety in her farm, plus additional damage. I like it much more than, for example, straight Aghanims on Wind Ranger, because with Aghs you're relying on kills too much, and with this Maelstrom you get a farming potential, which is pretty neat on a Ranger. I
mean, the Maelstrom is one of those items that it kind of says that you do have better late game of Singularity just because you have a Chaos Knight, and even though the Earthshaker can have an impact, once you get pipes on the enemy team, which probably we'll see, you have 3 carries essentially against 1, which is the Lycan, and of course quick ways to deal with them with the Ice Shard. So next level, Snowball, Shackle Shot, they want to leash this Wolf. the next level will survive. So in the end, Maelstrom gives you the necessary farm to actually get to the late game at a decent rate, and of course not fall behind in terms of farm, which is probably the biggest concern here for the guys at Singularity. And on top of that, it gives you the pushing power necessary in case Double Dimension wants to try to take this game a bit early using the Lycan, maybe even with a Vlad's or an Assault Grass build that allows you to take towers early. Maelstrom to outpush these lanes, and of course have the extra split pushing power in case the game does go awry and doesn't go in your favor. So it's just a nice versatile build. Chaos Knight though does need to get some sort of pushing or some sort of defensive farming item himself, maybe a Midas or something of the sort, because he has started to fall behind in farm, and only kills like these on Night Stalker are not that relevant just yet.
And actually pretty sad that Chaos Knight is running with the 6 kill participation, 0 deaths, but in the same time he is below in the net worth than Lycan.
Yeah,
Lycan got
exactly.
more. Well, he got a Midas, so he is ready to come back into the game. Maybe he'll be able to do that. Meanwhile, here comes the charge by LeBron on the top creeps. And finally, both teams calmed down. There is not many kills going on now, even though there is a night time, and most likely we would have expected a lot of rotations from side of a Double Dimension with this increased vision and Medallion of Courage on Night Stalker, but instead they are focused on farming their items. Undershock is already running around with Blink Dagger power threads.
Gold for me.
Alright, and now Patos going for a Maelstrom also. There's going to be a lot of damage, magical damage instead of Singularity. And, well, Double Dimension slowly moving to the top lane. Probably they will try to take tier 1 there. Genius, running.
Oh, look
Found
at it
Caster,
go.
here comes the casket, flow. Oh, poor Tusk is charged, silenced, Maledict on him, and Undershock jumps with the Enchant Tome, and no chances for the poor Husky Tusky.
And with that, they take a tower in the top lane, tier 1 that goes in Double Dimension's face, and we are seeing Singularity have to go for these items that allows them to spread their wings and try to use a different strategy. These Maelstroms are very important for that, right? To get that split pushing going in case they do need that, to get those farm up in case they need to play defensively, etc, etc. But with these kills, it's very hard to play this way. Undershock is destroying the Wind Ranger, just an Echo Slam and an Enchant Tome. There's nothing much you can do against that unless you play, well, in your own jungle. And here you see the lack of defense wards by Singularity starting to really hurt them. A couple offensive wards trying to utilize the global power in their lineup, but they completely forgot the fact that right now Double Dimension are at a much stronger peak, especially with an Earthshaker in the mid lane, which is a fantastic pick. And now Eliza charged up, silenced, smoke. Why? I don't know. He's destroyed anyway. Kaiser comes in though, Walrus Punch, and he does use the Ice Shards onto this Spirit Breaker, but he's going to be brought down anyway. Spirit Breaker going to be killed by Exotic Deer as the Wolf comes in, trying to kill Kaiser. They have to block him somehow, and actually not really going to bother too much with him. His Shapeshift is about to end. They try to use all the stuns they have onto him. The Chaos Bolt will hit him for 3 seconds, and that should be enough to keep him in place. The little Wolf, he's going to lose his Shapeshift right now. Next level still fighting, but he just lost it. Wind Ranger has to punish this. Undershock came at the last second and wants to fight against the Wind Ranger. We'll get this kill, but the Wind Ranger committed far too much for the Wolfie, and it's a 4-man wipe for Double Dimension.
Well, what a great sequence of events. And meanwhile, Lisa's being charged. Here's Casket from the Crypts. Oh, Medallion. Ice Path on 2. Well, there's no way he's going to survive here. Even though Paros will try to get a kill on the Witch Doctor, most likely he will succeed. A lot of damage from the Treants plus Tower. Well, that was a bit of a bloodbath in the mid lane. Unfortunately, that Nisha missed his power shot. Probably, if he didn't miss it, Lycan won't be able to deal that much of a damage. Yet, hey, mistakes are
And there they concentrated really hard on Lycan. That's you can see the difficulty in their build as well starting to shine, because the Chaos Knight is meant to be the only physical damage dealer in this team. With his minus armor is pretty powerful against a Lycan who starts with a nice armor and base armor around 3-4, and his agility is so deplorable. It takes him 7 levels to get every single point in armor. Meaning you really should take advantage of the Lycan by using physical damage against him. However, the build for Singularity for the most part includes magical damage for both Wind Ranger and Nature's Prophet, meaning that the only person here that can really take advantage of this and of this low armor is the Chaos Knight, but he keeps getting decimated early in the team fights due to his lack of armlet and of course his lack of well, it's good positioning. And of course, the Earthshaker is just a really strong hero against them, and they have to deal with Undershock and with the Lycan, but they are concentrating much more on Lycan, thinking he is the main carry. However, Undershock is the one that is taking advantage of this situation by a lot more, as he's a fantastic cleanup crew hero with an enchant totem, be one of the most powerful abilities when enemy team is trying to chase down someone, especially with the Aftershock to boot. And you are seeing the little cracks in the strategy for Singularity. However, you should still be able to get back into this game as long as they keep the push of Double Dimension at bay and wait a bit longer for the late game where Undershock will stop having so much impact, and when you have a pipe on one of your heroes to prevent this. Now, top lane. There's a Wind Ranger being silenced. The Snowball. Nisha, Wind Run herself away. She should be able to survive this. Patos coming in. Oh, the charge on the Spirit Breaker. And there's the Reality Rift. Dead Patos. Oh, sorry, dead Spirit Breaker. And punished for going a bit too far. So it's going to be Tusk for Spirit Breaker in this engagement.
Also, that's pretty interesting from the side of a Double Dimension. We'll just see two Midases, one on Night Stalker and one on Lycan. Even though they don't have the best tools for farming, they will be able to keep up the sustain and the XP advantage probably later on in the game. And that's pretty important. They're scaling quite well. And actually, Night Stalker almost finished his Solar Crest, and after that there will be a Shadow Blade. Interesting choice.
Yeah, the Shadow Blade. No, not the most common pickup, to be honest. But, well, I mean, seems like he's going to be much more an aggressive Night Stalker, trying to get a bit more of the late game going with those talents. Probably goes for the 25 attack speed and the 50 damage, and hoping that he can have a bit more impact as the game progresses, just in case. Don't know if that's a wise choice, though. Nope, there's a Shackle Shot, Spirit Breaker. Undershock comes in with the Echo Slam, destroys the Tusk, goes on to K-Sor, and yeah, that's me, 2 dead for 1.
Great Echo Slam by the Earthshaker, and now with the Force Staff and Blink Dagger, he got a lot of mobility, and it will be hard to run away for Singularity from this Earthshaker. Plus with his Fisher, it's a pretty decent range to catch up to anyone, and there is an Arcane Rune. Though, I'm not sure why is he going alone here. There is no way he's going to blink out. Oh, there was no hits. The Shackle Shot and Shackle Shot got missed, so Undershock simply runs away from there. And it feels like Double Dimension are super confident in themselves. Like, even though they got a vision there, he ran on the high ground against 3 members of Singularity. That's how much confidence this Earthshaker got.
I mean, the Earthshaker has a lot of confidence, but he's been really paying a toll because he's constantly going into team fights that, yeah, sometimes they're beneficial, but most of the time it's just because of Undershock's initiation afterwards. And Double Dimension has to be a bit more careful as the game progresses, and these charges can stop being as effective, especially with the Chaos Knight canceling them most of the time nowadays, or even the Shackle Shots. Right? Once they get a bit more tools to cancel those charges, they're going to be as powerful. And as initiation tools, more than anything, it's the vision that you care about, not really the actual charge completing. So canceling those charges a bit earlier would be wise for this Spirit Breaker as well. Now, Wind Ranger herself is trying to do a tier 2 trade for a tier 2 down bottom. Seems like a very good trade. And Nisha herself, they're going to try to charge her to prevent any sort of TPs from happening and trying to defend this tier 2, which is not a bad choice. Especially with Darkness to take away her vision, would be really hard for her to defend this. But of course, only a Spirit Breaker can't kill a Wind Ranger. Might just die himself.
Thought that there was no TP on Nisha, but now tier 2 got taken by Double Dimension. They're moving forward. That's interesting. They know that their role, not all, but at least Nisha is far away from the base, yet Undershock and Next Level are standing on the enemy high ground, and their Spirit Breaker is pretty far away. Here comes the Shackle Shot and the Earthshaker Macro Pie. I'm not sure if he'll be able to survive, yet he's sliding away with the Force Staff. Charge in, LeBron, will he be able to survive this 4-second stun? Oh, that's a dead Spirit Breaker, yet not the worst trade for Double Dimension. Well, at least they lost only... Oh, here comes the Echo Slam! What a beautiful bait! Chaos Knight most likely going down using Phantasm. Is it going to be a kill on the Earthshaker? He is dead! Yet there's a lot of damage from the side of Singularity. They keep on chasing, yet Night Stalker manages to run away. And that's a 2 for 3. At first it seemed like it was a brilliant plan by Double Dimension, but hey, if you're not killing Chaos Knight and he's using his Phantasm, he is killing you. A lot of damage, actually, by Exotic Deer. Even though he got only Armlet as his only item now, with the Phantasm, he just destroyed Double Dimension in a couple of hits. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, Exotic Deer he's playing CK. It's one of those heroes that really, even without MC scales, well, and without MC scales, even better, right? So, though this hero, especially with the Phantasm, can be very useful hero in the early game. You really rely on the Earthshaker to do something against them. A good Echo Slam there, but even so, Undershock still had to die, and that's the unfortunate situation they live in. Where great power shot by Nisha. Where if the Earthshaker is the only one that can deal with your CK, then CK can pretty much kill everyone else in your team as long as Undershock is dealt with. That is the issue we saw in that team fight, where Armut is all he needs to really survive most of the damage from this Undershock, and then punish everyone else. Now Patos, he's being charged. This is a really difficult play, Undershock. I don't know why you come into this. Snowball will stop him. Patos still alive. That's how Nature killed the Undershock, and Nisha from behind with the fissure. There's even the Chaos Bolt, an arrow to the face will finish off the Spirit Breaker. Double Dimension, lose 2 for none.
Well, actually, it's pretty hard for Double Dimension to fight into this because they are pretty strong stuns from side of a Singularity. So there is a Shackle Shot with the potential of shackling 2 people, plus Exotic Deer with his Chaos Bolt 4-second stun, plus Sprouts, plus Ice Path, plus Tusk with a Snowball, and now they are going for Roche. Aghanim Scepter up on Nisha, most likely it's going to be Aegis for him also, plus Haste Rune right next to the Roche pit. And yep, here comes the Aegis, and now Singularity can play a bit more aggressive. Meanwhile on the top lane, Witch Doctor tipping away. Oh, here comes the Snowball, but speed of it is not enough to cancel the TP from Witch Doctor, and Singularity are finally starting to play more and more aggressive, and even though Double Dimension seemed very confident a couple of minutes ago, now their gold advantage is not that much anymore.
Yeah, it's because, of course, they lost that mid-game potential that they didn't realize they had simply because of their lineup, and now going into the late game, they realize that they haven't really been taking the jet that's necessary, and SMG can just out-farm them, and this is the issue. You are fighting against a Chaos Knight that is slowly getting back the net worth you lost, and with this build of Night Stalker, you had hopes. No, he doesn't even go for the Shadow Boy in the end. Actually, he's going to go for the straight-up Ags, because let's be honest, you need the vision, and you need to use Undershock more as a potential carry rather than Night Stalker, him being more of a utility, but this will really lose out early, especially with the Lycan that had to go for Heaven's Halberd simply to stop some of the damage coming off the Wind Ranger and the Chaos Knight. Not a bad item, but certainly not the item you expect on a Lycan that can really dominate the enemy team. And as long as Singularity takes advantage of the high amount of single target damage and the reliance on Earthshaker and this enemy team's lineup, you're going to be perfectly fine. All you have to do is defend your towers enough, and you have great tower defense with the Tusk and the Jakiro. Both Liquid Breath and Ice Shards are actually really strong spells to defend towers because of the vision and those impassable terrain they give. And the Nature's Prophet himself can continue to split push, keep the lanes pushed, especially with the build of the Maelstrom Aghanims, meaning it's much more of a split pushing Nature's Prophet, probably the treat summoning Nature's Prophet as well. And with this, yep, you just don't really need to do much more. You can even evade team fights in the early game, try to make this game go as long as possible, and eventually outfarm your opponents with much more valuable items. And this is the thing about Earthshaker in general, though he's a core that can do pretty decently, the items he has to go for because of all these mobility items he needs tend to be quite cheap and not particularly the best for the late game. And if you do decide to go for some strong late game items, that's going to take away the effectivity of the Earthshaker as a whole. Whereas Wind Ranger or Chaos Knight both excel with pretty hardcore items like the Heart Rask, Mjolnir, etc., etc. And this in the late game can really notice itself.
Well, on the bottom lane, Patos losing his life, yet LeBron, he got chased in position. Here comes the Nisha, 4 stuff away on the LeBron. He's completely fine. Question is, will be any kind of a turn from side of a Double Dimension, but most likely they're letting Nisha go. They know that there is an Aegis there, plus a Double Dimension Exotic Deer. Here comes the smoke, and they will try to find someone, but Double Dimension probably will smoke up themselves, smoke on the smoke action. Question is, who is going to be stronger? I believe that Double Dimension with this surprise on the Echo Slam may succeed, but both teams are actually guessing wrong. Singularity moving to oh, they saw a Korea, and actually they will go for a Korean kill. No,
No, they don't see that. They didn't see that. Maybe actually maybe the observer ward saw a glimpse of that, but I don't think they were really noticing it. Oh, yeah, they will kill the Korean. Pure chance. I mean, they're taking some wards down. It's not really a big deal, really. 25 minutes into the game, it's okay. You're happy with it. You're pretty satisfied. That's it.
Well, what's interesting that the courier from side of a Double Dimension wasn't flying directly to anyone, and it feels like they were simply scouting out. And here comes the Ice Path. Plus, oh, here comes the casket on Wind Ranger. They keep on fighting. Lycan most likely will go down here, trying to run away using Shapeshift. Disarm on Wind Ranger. She's unable to hit anymore, and Lycan is running for his life. He is burning now. Shackle shot to the tree. Nisha keep on chasing LeBron. Bye-bye, LeBron. Meanwhile, Kaser dies to Undershock. And that's a decent trade, in my opinion. You're losing your Spirit Breaker and Lycan for Tusk. Plus, already a courier lost from side of a double dimension. Nice trade.
Yeah, the trade ends up being beneficial, of course, to Singularity, to kill the Lycan once again. And it's just the Lycan can't really do much against what the Singularity is bringing up. They don't really have a single hero that gets countered by Lycan. More importantly, most of their heroes actually counter him pretty hard, and that's that pick that got destroyed either by the Windrun, or the Sprout, or the Chaos Knight as a whole, because this whole package really destroys you. It makes it hard, especially now that Manta Style is going to be coming up. Power Shot to get some vision. Reality Rift. Is he going to find him? Nisha not going to commit to the skill. So in the end, they do want to continue pushing because they do have the Aegis after all, so why not? But if you do go too far, you might just lose your CK, and he does not have the security of the Aegis with him. Now, another big issue we're seeing in this game as well, and you notice this in the net worth, is the fact that even though Chaos Knight, a lot of people, and you can see it, chat, oh, wait, actually, with Courier dying, Snowball, we'll save him, and Witch Doctor will pay for his sins, burned to death, dual breath, EU genius, maybe not so much of a genius after all, as he's killed by Nisha. Anyway, the point is, you can see this in net worth. A lot of people were actually making fun of the CKK, you know, below Night Stalker net worth, but you expect it to happen. CK is one of the worst, if not the worst farmer in the game in terms of the carry position. And usually you can take advantage of this by taking a carry that can flash farm, right? Either you get a Shadow Fiend in the mid lane, for example, a Juggernaut at Slark. A bunch of heroes actually do pretty decently against Chaos Knight. One of the few heroes that does not fill that category is particularly Lycan. Not a worse farmer than the CK, but particularly not a better one. And you really don't take advantage of the lack of farming speed that CK has. And you're noticing here where the difference between them is only 2,000, but the utility of the Chaos Knight with little items, as that's how he's supposed to be played anyway, is much, much higher. Every single item for CK means the world to him. It's almost like a little kid, a little poor kid with a bunch, like 2 toys. He loves them both, whereas the Lycan needs a lot more items to be effective, especially since he's a hero that relies a bit more on skills in the early game and has a huge reliance in the shapeshift.
Meanwhile, on the top lane, they're going on Lisa. Here comes the Yule Scepter, saving his life. Poor Wolf is trapped. Meanwhile, here comes the Nisha. Comes a shot on the Earthshaker. BKB on Exotic Deer. They keep on fighting. Beautiful Macrobuy. Yet Undershock won't be able to use his Echo Slam. It feels like he needs to run away. Witch Doctor using his Death Ward, but it's not enough. Here comes the Shackle Shot on the LeBron. And only survivor here is Night Stalker, but only because he didn't participate in the fight. Beautiful turn by SNG, and even though at first Lycan planned on killing Jakiro, didn't really work out, and the saving crew came just in time.
And with that, it does seem like Singularity will start taking the objective start. And of course, the split pushing power, which we were talking about earlier, still a very effective way to take advantage of this. They will kill the Nature's Prophet down bottom, most likely. Yep, that's a stun down and destroy Nature's Prophet. But in exchange, you do take a tower up top, so it ends up being an okay engagement. Nature's Prophet can come back if very needed with the buyback and the teleportation. And with the focus fire, it's very hard to actually stop the Wind Ranger's push now. And she already went for the invisibility extra at level 20, meaning that her split pushing potentials become even more powerful, in addition to a really nice talent of 40 movement speed. Both 20 intelligence and 40 movement speed are really good talents. But if you're going to go for, of course, the Wind Ranger that likes to split push a bit, then the 40 movement speed is just simply supreme. That combined with your Wind Run makes it so you don't really rely on that ability to really run away, but you still have it as an option, and you can just use your movement speed to initiate or counter initiate. Okay. Nisha, don't go that far in. Yep. Ooh, almost a really good shackle shot. That should have actually shackled, but little bit of a misangle to error because of the parallax error in Dota.
And here comes a double damage on Undershock. Maybe a very interesting turn here. You got his Shadow Blade, and next item going to be BKB. Singularity are 3 men in the same place. Undershock going in there. Here comes the Echo Slam, destroying Nisha. Will he be able to run away? Necrobia, BKB committed. He lost him in the sights. Oh, here comes the Wind Run, and he's actually surviving this. I can't believe this. They only lost. BKB's flow keep on chasing, and here comes the Invis on Nisha, and wow. They used the Echo Slam, committed Death Ward, and didn't get kills. That's actually so sad.
That's a huge commitment, especially the Echo Slam there. Nisha having to waste the BKB. Yes, 10-second BKB ends up not being, sorry, 9-second BKB. It's a pretty nice waste, but now it's time for the guys Singularity to go in. That's why they use the Soak. It's pretty clever. They know that there's no abilities to really start on them. They already have a Blink Dagger on the Tusk to initiate pretty easily from the side, and of course you have a Wind Ranger with insane amount of movement speed that should be able to catch most everyone. That's why she doesn't actually even need to go for the Blink Dagger or Force Death I usually would see on a Wind Ranger, and she's just essentially gonna go in and walk up to everyone. That smoke fails, sadly, because of the lack of offensive vision, but that lack of offensive vision is the reason why the guys at Singularity have been doing so well recently, as they changed their wards a bit. They only have a single Observer ward here down in the bottom lane, and it's an Observer ward here, which doesn't really reveal much more, and it's just been put down now. So you don't actually have vision of whenever they go around this area over here or this area over here. That's actually a circle, I'm sorry about that, and that means the Singularity has a harder time finding smokes and counter kills like this. So instead, they try to go for objectives, which is another possibility that Chaos Knight gives you. That is fantastic, as they can now take shrines, and of course a Roshan, and perhaps why not a Wish Doctor to boot.
And there was no chances for him to survive this. Unfortunately, an insane amount of damage with Aghanim Scepter and Maelstrom from Wind Ranger. Next item is MKB. That will be really hard to survive the focus fire from this Wind Ranger, plus she got a cheese on her. There's 2 lives on Chaos Knight. Let's see, he's going for Heart of a Tarask, so it will be a lot of sustain. Even with the Reaver, he got 3.2k HP, plus Armlet turned on. That will be hard to burst down the CK, and Niche starts attacking melee Raxes. Well, they got the Echo Slam, they got a Death Ward, and Double Dimension got chance to defend their high ground quite decently, yet there is Cheese plus Aegis from side of a Singularity.
I don't know how you're supposed to defend against this G's from Aegis without the... I mean, even with an Echo Slam here, you do miss Death Ward there for 30 seconds, which is quite important. And even though you do have the Darkness Initiation, it's still a bit difficult to fight against this when the only thing that these guys from Singularity have to do is take your racks, really, right? They don't even really need to team fight. And they can even prevent some of the damage from the Echo Slam or the follow with a good, clever Snowball. As long as the Tusk keeps himself out of the loop, you can just blink in, Snowball, and grab everyone in it. And that's actually not that unlikely to see. So, because of the large chest points the Earthshaker has, he actually does rely a lot on that Echo Slam initial stun, which is a 0 cast point spell. It's a combo. Earthshaker is a really big combo hero. If you don't follow the specific order, you're definitely not going to get your ultimate off or your damage off. And the Tusk here can be the savior to stop these kind of combo heroes that rely on a big 0 cast point spell and then a bunch of really large cast points, as Snowball is great for saving these heroes. And now we see the push coming in from both sides. Echo Slam finds the Wind Ranger. Tusk aiming with a Blink Dagger, but mistimed that, and K-Sword will be punished as a result. Wind Ranger already goes down, but the CK is trying to push this tower in the mid lane, at least these racks. K-Sword being stunned and destroyed. Goodbye. Ice Shards don't do absolutely anything. Exotic Deer at least putting a bit of pressure onto these melee racks in the mid lane. It's just Prophet himself also putting a lot of pressure into this bottom lane. The split push is real, but hey, it's not good enough to finish off any of these buildings, unfortunately. And they even went for the melee racks, meaning that well, none of them are going to go down. They're going to start healing up by the next engagement. So either Singularity puts a lot of pressure now, or this game is going to start going a bit harder for them. Or I guess they don't really need to, but they will lose the potential about this push.
Yeah, plan was really sweet from side of a Singularity, but hey, if you're unable to take this melee Raxus in the end, what was that for? So they lost their carry, they lost their support, and that was a good idea, but the execution was not that great. I'm actually not sure what happened so wrong about this one, but probably this Jakiru is playing with death now. Oh, here comes a charge. He is unable to use his Yule Scepter, Nether Strike, and most likely he will go down. Flow follows up, and Undershock with the Shadow Blade finishing off for Jakiru. Oh, there's a buyback from Jakiru. That's actually interesting. They are tipping in, and they understand that now or never, I guess, because I see no other reason behind this buyback. Running away.
Okay, Tusk dead.
Oh, that's a lot of damage. Meanwhile, Exotic Deer 3 seconds stun on the Spirit Breaker. There is no Echo Slam for 50, and what is more important, there is no mana silence on Chaos that he's unable to catch Undershock or anyone. Next level tries to run away. Ice Staff being missed. Meanwhile, Exotic Deer dropped fairly low on his HP. At least they managed to kill Witch Doctor, hey? But now, in 15 seconds, there will be Echo Slam up on Earthshaker, and there is a lot of summons from side of a Singularity. It's pretty difficult to survive this. Undershock, he is patient. He knows that he can get a million Echo Slam here? No, instead he's going for a kill on Patos. Here comes the Fisher. Blocking Nisha, Patos surviving this undershock, sliding there and getting a shackle shot in his face. Meanwhile, Exotic Deer tries to destroy Lycan on the top lane. They're running away, trapped by the Ice Path. Lycan survives on 100 HP, like with his armlet, and tries to survive this undershock. Shackled once again, unable to use the Echo Slam. Exotic Deer, and do they have a detection? No detection from side of a Singularity. There is still a possibility to turn this fight. Oh, that's a lot of damage from Exotic Deer. They take in the bottom racks. It's -3, and Undershock is probably the only one who can change the situation. Here comes the smoke. Most likely they saw it. They know, they should know that he's here, and he's wanting. Blink tag is up. No! Oh my god! 4-second stun, and there is no buyback from side of a double dimension. It feels like they're losing this game. GG being called. Oh, that was a good try, but not good enough, unfortunately.
Yeah, with that, Singularity will take game number 1 after a superior drafting phase to double dimension. We already mentioned it early. You're gonna rely on a very strong execution, a very good Earthshaker pick. Yes, true, but if you rely only on him and you have nothing else to compare to, completely destroyed. That's why CK was actually so fantastic. Destroyed the Lycan, made you rely on just one hero, that being the Earthshaker. Particularly not a good hero in the late game. You just wait a bit till his effectivity is a bit down, and you get items to really stop him. And in this case, we did see a couple of them. For example, you went for Aghanim's Mage's Prophet, allowing you to split push. You went a lot of Maelstorms early on to allow you to put a lot of pressure in the lanes, ensure that the push from double dimensioning is not effective. And of course, you stop the vision from the creeps, making a Spirit Breaker's global lineup not so global after all. Singularity, punishing every single aggression, double dimension, overstepped their jurisdiction, and with this, they'll be winning game number 1 of the best of 3 with a lot of confidence in their step. They will be going into game number 2. Let's hope they can surprise us with another great draft and just destroy double dimension. Or if it's double dimension, who will be the ones to bring it back with a little bit of a more